Now we're back at it, going to get the timing stuff installed on the bike. Now, something I don't know if you guys noticed, but I screwed up. I misread the manual, and when it said insert the chain assembly through the cylinder block, in my mind I heard cylinder head. So I installed the heads on the engine. Well, I had to remove them because I had to drop the change through here up high, and it wouldn't fit the other way around. So I got that lowered down, and the markings on this gear here, the back one, there's a marking that you have to match, go in that direction to a raised section of the block right here. And then up here in this intermediate shaft, there's a 12 o'clock mark that you have to line up, a white mark there and a white mark down there to get the crank and the intermittent shaft perfect. So that was my screw up. Now we're going to go ahead and work on finishing up the guides. I got the front one in, and I started working on the back one. I just got to put some Loctite on it. There was some Loctite on this one already, so I'm going to go ahead and put some more Loctite on it, get it secured down, and move forward. Get the head on, and get those cam gears on and installed properly. Here we go. Okay, so the long guide with the big large metal mounting boss on this side goes right here. I'm going to place a little bit of assembly lube on this rail just to give it some lubrication until we start pumping oil. Okay, and we're going to slide it in there, and the long bolt like this with the O-ring goes in right here. And then it'll be tightened up with a 10 millimeter. Okay, that's nice and snug. Okay, now this guy here is the next one to go in here. This one now goes on this side. This little tab here will fit down in here, and the tensioners will go in here like so. And the short bolt with the washer goes in here. Okay, we're in there. Nice and evenly here. Okay, looking good so far, guys. I did not put lubrication, so we'll go ahead and squeeze some in there. Okay, so it looks good. Alrighty, now we're going to lube up the cam journals. I'm just going to wipe down, make sure there's no chunks of anything in there from moving stuff around. Okay, I'm just going to smooth everything out. Make sure it's evenly coated. Okay, alrighty now. Okay, now we're going to go get some cams.
This bike's gonna be loud.
Okay, so 1, 2. So 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24th. Cool. And that is correct. Okay, so now I'm on the right teeth up here. So I installed the intake and exhaust cams. It's really hard to mix them up because one is offset back and one is offset a little forward. So I got them installed, and this one over here has to be, well, for one, these little dots have to be even with the head surface here. So with this tooth here on this pin, you count pins. You go 1, the pin that this mark is on is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 1, 22, 23, and 24. So this mark is on the 24th pin from number 1. So the cams are aligned properly now.
Maybe.
So now it's wanting me to go on the other side and get the other side going now. Okay, now we're ready to start installing the timing gear for the rear head. Okay, so we're gonna go, whoops, I'm gonna go ahead and get our timing marks lined up. upper guides in. Now we're going to work on getting the upper guides in. These ones here are a little trickier. But we got the head torqued back down. We got a few more bolts to install and torque down. And then we'll be able to get the upper guides in, which is just a step away from being done with this one. Put my cap back on my Loctite. Alright, so go ahead and twist these babies in. Oops.
Probably always gonna need new car parts or.
All right, to install these tensioners, I had to learn this on my own. Inside here, there's a little flat screw, threaded screw in there, and if you put a small screwdriver in there and twist it, it will bring this tensioner inward. I don't know if you can see it happening, but it goes on down like that. And if you bring it all the way back like this, right, and then install it, tighten it down, and then let go, and it will tension itself. There you go. That is not in the service manual at all. Okay, now we'll get this one back in. This one's a 17 millimeter, by the way. All right, guys, we're done for this portion of the video. I've got my my timing all set up. I've got good compression and intake, suction and pressure here and here, and nothing's binding up. Everything seems to be functioning in time. When I rotate several times, all the timing marks match up, and we're back in action. So, all right, that's it for this time. We'll be back in a flash, and then we're going to start assembling everything inside the cases. All right, well, we're back for another part of our video. I actually installed the starter clutch gears before I realized my camera was not recording. So I got them in there. This gear has to go on before this outer gear does. Just to step back a little bit, but make sure that the other shaft, on the other side of this gear, is lightly greased. If you put too much grease on it, when you push it in, air will push it out because it's a sealed area in there, so just lightly grease it. And here, just in case you don't have this book, here is the assembly process. This here is against the crankcase, and these are all the parts that you have to install into it. And make sure that this ring here, the beveled part, is on the outside. But the smaller part of the bevel is facing in. Thought I'd clarify that. Okay? On to the next step, which is the center gear here, I would believe. On the other side of the engine, it's wanting, in the book right now, it's wanting us to install this balancer, which is the opposite side of the starter. So this balancer one here, we'll have to get out the hardware. I'll show you here is the breakdown diagram of that one there, and everything is listed. So I'm going to go grab all those pieces. Okay, now that these parts are cleaned up, this is the orientation that you want all these little rubber plastic balancers. I guess you can call them balancers, pads, whatever. Okay, so it looks like this is the orientation for it right here. I would imagine that these pieces go in these holes, and these pieces.
You want your food out here on the desk?
Out here is fine. And these pieces up here go into the larger holes. So let's try to get it in place. And there you go. Okay, the balancer is in. Okay, and now, since these teeth are on the inside, of course, we will take this and put this on the inside. Now, is there any special way for this to go on? This is what we have to look at. All right, now we have the left-hand side balancer on, and the indicator line is etched into the shaft that goes through there on both sides. And there's this little mark right here. The line is off to the side here. So I lined my hole just like I saw in the book right here. I aligned it so that the line was off to the side. So I aligned that just like that. So this line here etched into the metal is in alignment to that marked line on that shaft. So we should be good to go on both sides now. On it. So with these aligned, I think I'll go ahead and make this top dead center. Okay, so now we have the left side assembled. There's a little bit more here and here, but I need gaskets for that, so I'm not ready to assemble that. So let's flip this back over so that we're looking at the right side. Not the correct side, the right side. Okay, so we have these here. This is obviously the clutch assembly, and here is an intermittent little gear that needs to go on there. We'll go ahead and get that mounted next. Okay, so here is the intermittent shaft, however you want to say it. It doesn't appear that it goes any specific way, but it looks like it should go this way to me. So we'll go ahead and put the key in there. Right here, just set it right in its groove on this. Okay, that goes on there first. Okay, so this is how this is going to go. This washer here, the one that's kind of beveled inward, the small area there goes against this bearing right here, which will go right in there just like that. These bearings, the needle bearing and its sleeve, goes right on top of here and fits onto here. Just in case you're curious, I am going with this diagram here, which shows how it all goes together. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some grease in this end bearing here, just to grease it up for the initial startup. Yep. All right. Okay. Put a spring in each hole. Oh, maybe I should back up there. Gotta wake up! All right, we're back to do another portion of the Kawasaki 750 build. Now I forgot to turn on the camera, so I've already poured some oil in the top of that head and bolted that valve cover on. I poured some oil in this head, and I'm about to mount that valve cover as well. Of course, we are using genuine Kawasaki parts. There's a part number for the valve cover gaskets for the 96 Vulcan 750. Okay, and here she is. She lays onto the valve cover with these seals out, of course. They won't go on the other way. So we'll go ahead and put that on there, and then since I've poured some oil in here, I always like to just coat these with a little oil so there's an oily residue when it's first fired up. Put that baby right there. And here are the bolts, 2 short ones and a long one. Long one goes in the back. You got to make sure that these here are centered properly on the valve covers or you're going to get a leak. Okay, so we're moving right along here. Next, I think what we're going to have to do is mount the carburetors, but what I got to do is I have to rebuild them. I have to tear them down, clean them up really good, and get them back together. I bought the only seals that I could imagine was leaking because if you remember in my earlier video, the left side carburetor was dripping gas. So I purchased the O-rings that I saw that seemed to me the only O-rings that were the only seals that could be leaking on there. So I hope I made a good guess. Give me a second, I'll get right on that. We're going to go ahead and mount the exhaust manifolds before we install. The only parts I have left is the starter, and over there are a couple of the spark plug cans there. No more parts on the bench. No parts on my dirty ass work table here. And I did not film it because I attempted to film the installation of the engine, and with fumbling around, knocking the camera around, it was just too difficult to fully record it. So I thought that it wouldn't have been a good watch to record me fumbling around with the camera. But take a look, guys. The engine's in there. And with that valve cover the way it is right there, you can understand why the engine has to come out in order to work on those heads. There's no room in there whatsoever. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this fired up today. And hopefully hear it run right. I'm going to get the camera set up and you can watch us zip through it as we go. Alrighty guys, the moment we've been waiting for, we're going to try to test fire it.
Shall I like stand back?
We've got fuel in it, got a battery in it. See if we got fuel coming in the lines. Remember, it's been bone dry, so. Okay, the fuel valve is on. You know how fast it's turned over?
I was trying to go. Is this
Okay, well,
give up? No, shoot.
okay,
Oh god. That sounded good.
that was one, but this side is really,
Not sucking.
it's kinked.
Better turn it on that way. Are you doing that or?
I'm trying to get fuel to come down into the other Okay, we got fuel coming down in the other now.
Oh.
Whoops.
Horn works.
Wrong one. Running when I was doing the starting fluid.
Is that cutting normal? That almost vibrates your chest.
That's running good.
It sounds louder. You kind of feel it in your chest. It's kind of funny.
You that's normal.
That's not normal.
That's not normal.
Is that normal?
Oh. That's oil.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's oil, son.
I was like, wait, I think it's normal.
No, that wasn't normal.
We're gonna have to put a little more oil in
But
it.
there's a little bit of water dripping out of this thing here, but that's okay. Oil's a little low, so we'll go ahead and top it off.
But man, this thing. Oh god. Is he gonna try to go?
It's not being disengaged. I gotta adjust my clutch. Because when I pull it, that shouldn't happen.
Make sure it's still in. I'm just laughing at it now. Listen. Lord, I would hate to hear how that
Only one.
Did you just kill it?
It's choked.